Hi guys, it's Astrid Mueller again, web designer, brand designer who's passionate about helping women entrepreneurs succeed. Just before the weekend, I want to give you guys an inspiration that sends you off in the weekend with some solid input that can help you boost your business. It's actually an inspiration that I have from my own experience that would have saved me a ton of money had I thought about this earlier. It's kind of along the lines of what I'm going to be having in my ebook that I'm launching super shortly. It's that close to being released. I'm just getting testimonials right now and reviews and people testing it and playing with it. So stay tuned for that one too. But the resource I'm mentioning today is not mentioned in the ebook. And it is an inspiration to think about if you're about to launch a collection of any kind. So it can be a collection of a fashion line, or it can be a collection of furniture, stationery, whatever. So a lot of times that's what we want to do as entrepreneurs, right? We have this thing that we want to get out in a series, and it can get really overwhelming. And I've done that a bunch of times. Like one thing I did was for my stationery line when I was still in the wedding industry, trying to make it as a stationery designer with fashion-inspired wedding illustrations. So it took me about a year to put this collection together. I really made it awesome. I tried to do my best and make it really good. And I had about 10 designs, and each design had like a series of cards and stuff like that. So it took me about a year, a lot of money, a lot of time. A lot of sample production, and when I was finally ready to launch it, I already had a few contacts in retail. Among others, it was Bloomingdale's in New York, so I was pretty sure that would be fine. But then suddenly everybody jumped ship. Nobody wanted to buy it. I didn't hear back from people. I tried to get it out there. It just wasn't happening. And at some point I gave up, which is kind of terrible, but I didn't have enough manpower, and I had kind of run out of energy at that time to do the whole thing. Looking back, I also think that the setup wasn't perfect because it was maybe too nichey and too specialized, and could have been a hard sell compared to what's already out there. So no matter what, I spend all this time and all this money doing this thing, and I could have saved a lot of that. And how? The inspiration for you today is like, consider if you can break things down. That's something that I could have done. I could have tested it like in a small batch, like do a few and really test it and try to sell it and try to get it among the people and get some feedback. So here are a few examples of other people where this can work. So I just spoke with a cool furniture designer in Phoenix in a mastermind call, which I do a lot with different people. I have a mastermind group, and this lady, I'm not going to mention names just because she hasn't launched her brand fully yet, but so she's another entrepreneur who I was really excited to talk about and to talk with, and we speak regularly. And last time we talked, it was she told me that she's planning to launch this collection, right, of furniture pieces, handmade, really cool things, and she realized that she's also going to use about a year to actually be able to do this. And she was still excited about it, but she also felt a little bit overwhelmed. And I totally had to think back of my own example, my stationery line, and I told her, okay, no, let's do a brainstorming, like if you can do something different to learn from my mistakes and not run into the same obstacle after all this work. So I told her, like, what if you break it down? What if you just do capsule collections, like once a month or something, or spread out over smaller sections of time? You do some introductions where you get it among the people. So in her case, we brainstormed she could do special parties, and starting with her friends, and introducing a few pieces of furniture, and find a cool event concept that's kind of engaging and fun. Just get people to come and play with it, and she could collect amazing market feedback. She would only have to produce prototypes possibly and get orders while people are there. She would it will be much more doable, and she could incorporate that feedback into the next pieces she would develop, already learning what people like, what works, what is good to produce, and all those things. So eventually she would have a collection anyway as well, but she's already getting paid, the biggest one of all things, right? You want to get paid soon. So she really loved that idea, and like we kind of brainstormed a really cool concept, and I can't wait to see what she's going to be coming up with. I hope I can interview her soon on that, and I will tell you guys about it. So that was one example. Another inspiration is from the fashion industry. So for instance, when you look at Phoenix Fashion Week, where I was one of the emerging designers last year, so they always have 2 events each season. In August, they have a thing called Shop Garment District, where their emerging designers are showing 4 dresses of their full collection. And then in fall, in the full Phoenix Fashion Week event week, then they showed 12 pieces or however many they have for their full presentation. So my inspiration here and my thought is also, isn't there a way that if you are an emerging designer, you can somehow start your fashion line with just 4 pieces or a small collection that is very doable and test the waters? Think like a startup, because here's the thing that we so often try to do. We try to get inspiration from the big brands, and the big brands, they launch spring, they launch fall, winter, then sometimes they have the resort collections and whatnot, and it's always huge collections, it's huge money, it's all this, oh my gosh, like all this marketing that you have to do, and the inventory, the production, it's nuts. So if we are startups, and we have the benefit of being a startup, like let's think in terms of opportunity. How can we turn this into an opportunity and make things happen? So in smaller bites, and being small and agile is a huge opportunity. So think a little bit along those lines. And that's actually also inspired by a super cool book that I'm currently reading. It's called Success Under Stress by Sharon Melnick, and it's super amazing. This lady is she studied at Harvard. She did tons of research. She is a PhD and has amazing insight on how you can succeed. And one of her tips that I really love out of the part that I'm already reading is the 50% rule, which basically says that there's always stuff that we can control, which she says 50%, and then there's stuff we cannot control. So if you think with this example, as a startup, you have so many decisions you can't control. So if you think, make the best out of your 50% in this example, is like really think outside of the box. Like, what can you do with your brand in an innovative way? Not necessarily how the others do it, but just look at your assets and your possibilities, your agility, like how you can just quickly jump on cool ideas. You can collaborate, you can create amazing things. And in this instance, my inspiration here, you can break it down. So think how you could break it down and launch your business, your new things in small portions, and test the waters, make money, and move forward like this, bite-sized, baby steps. And you can grow later when the money starts coming in. Then you can get help and pay people to help you. Then you can launch bigger collections. Do it when you have the money. That's a really a good inspiration for entrepreneurs, I think, to just not overextend yourself and think in terms of being resourceful and not just getting all this money spent. It's so easy to spend money anyway. So be resourceful and try to grow slowly, not slowly, but in bite size, and then you learn what works and grow like that. So that's my inspiration for you guys today. Also, there's another example. It's from the book Girl Boss from Nasty Gal, which I am the Nasty Gal founder, Sophia Amoruso, who I highly recommend as an inspirational person. She just started a YouTube channel, which is really kind of funny as well, but she's a wealth of inspiration. And if you haven't read that book yet, Girl Boss, take a look at it. And a part of that, her story kind of goes in the same direction too. She started very innovative as well, and she wasn't actually looking to grow a multi-million-dollar company. Like who really knows what's going to happen, right? But she was just starting out selling fashion on I think it was eBay. It was one of those platforms. She was selling vintage fashion that she liked on that platform, and it was individual pieces. It wasn't full collections. She didn't have any money at that time. She was just selling individual things and making money as she went. And suddenly when things took off, then she started hiring people, and then she started growing and introducing additional lines and things like that. So break it down, use that as inspiration, and have a great weekend, an inspired weekend, and get some rest. And yeah, all the best to you guys. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are not subscribed yet, and in my newsletter as well. I hope to see you anywhere. I'm looking forward to any kind of wishes and input you guys may have. I'm actually also looking for interview people. So if you are an expert in some field, you have something to give that inspires girl power entrepreneurs and startups, contact me, email me. I'd love to see if I can interview you, where I can fit you in, whether it's my newsletter or my upcoming radio show. So yeah, if you know cool entrepreneurs as well as women entrepreneurs especially, let me know. I'd love to hear about them and consider them to interview them. We can all help each other succeed so much. Like, I know quite a lot from since I started in 2005, but I don't know everything. I have my own strengths. Everybody has different strengths. Like, I'm not a financial guru. I'm the creative thinker and finding innovative solutions, and I'm about design and that kind of stuff. But if you have another expertise, come to me and let me know, and we'll get you a spotlight as well. So yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. Happy weekend, you guys. Stay inspired, stay successful. All the best. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.